SAFM 104 to 107.
Now, the Golden Baobab Prize inspires African children's literature, where you can start to tell new stories that African children can relate with, so they can become excited about storytelling and reading and writing. Now, winner of the Rising Writer Award, Best Story Written by a Talented Writer 18 Years and Below, is Luke Hasbrook, who's on the line. Luke, congratulations to you and good afternoon.
Hey, thanks.
How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm fine. Now, when did you start writing?
When I was about 8 years old.
Were you making up your own stories?
I was. Before I could even write them myself, I would say them out loud, and my mom would write them down.
Your mom is very encouraging. So,
yeah, I guess she was.
So when did you hear about this competition? How did you find out about it?
Andrea Natras, a publisher at Pan Macmillan, was reading one of my manuscripts at the time, so she told me about it.
And your winning story, tell us a bit more about that.
Well, it was basically built on the idea that what would happen if death decided that killing was wrong. And it's basically about Death, who meets a young girl and realizes that, and basically the consequences and repercussions of that meeting.
You're young. Why the preoccupation with death?
Not a preoccupation with death. I just decided it would be an interesting thing to write about.
And how long is the story?
It's about 3 pages.
Okay, so it's a short story.
It's a short story.
All right. And is this something that you want to carry on doing into the future?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's a very fun thing to do. It's very rewarding. And yeah, I enjoy it.
What do you write on? What do you write with?
I usually write on the computer.
Okay. All right. And what do you get when you receive the Golden Baobab Rising Writer Award?
Well, there was a cash prize.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a nice one, I won't lie. And just recognition is also very nice to have.
And getting in touch with publishers, when did that take place for you?
Well, I've been speaking to publishers and getting my work out there for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the process is moving along, and things are happening.
So what do you do when you're not writing?
I do lots. I act. I really enjoy acting, debating, and sadly, school.
What level are you at with your education?
Grade 10.
In grade 10?
Yeah.
Not bad at all. I mean, school is fun.
School can be fun.
Yeah, you don't think so when you're there, and then when the demands of adult life start to press upon you, you look back at those days with plenty of nostalgia. And do your friends know about your writing skill?
Oh yeah, they do.
And do they think it's cool?
Yeah, most of them do.
Okay. And back to the story about Death deciding not to kill. What have you titled it?
It's called The Dance.
The Dance. Is there a love element to it? I mean, is Death a male character?
Death is a male character.
Okay. Is he similar to the Grim Reaper?
He is, but he's much more like us. He's just like a normal guy, basically, who hates his job.
Oh. So you get. And what did the judges have to say about your work?
They really liked it. They were quite impressed, and they had good words to say.
Will we see it in a publication anytime soon?
You should.
Okay. No, that's great. So what stories are you working on next?
I'm actually writing a new full-length novel, tinkering around with that, which is basically it explores the life of the children of high-profile gangsters.
Sure. And, I mean, do the stories come easily to you? Because there are a lot of people who want to write. You get writers who, they'll write 1 or 2 things and then they'll battle to get going again. So, I mean, what feeds you? Where do you get the energy and the inspiration to actually, get a whole story down?
Well, the ideas aren't the hard part. I mean, ideas are easy to come by and easy to find. But what's difficult is following the work through. Mm-hmm. Actually completing a story is the hard part. Starting it is easy.
And getting it complete, is it something that you do yourself, or do you get help from other people?
No, I write entirely by myself.
And for school, I mean, do you find that it helps you focus on your studies?
I think it does, eh?
Is it?
It kind of refreshes me. It gives me something else to focus on.
All right. So, are you a big reader as well?
I am. I love to read.
Who are your favorite authors?
Stephen King, definitely. Jan Martel, and of course, J.K. Rowling from when I was younger.
Mm-hmm. How did you discover Jan Martel? That's pretty sophisticated for a grade 10 learner to be reading Jan Martel. I mean, that's what The Life of Pi and that, right?
I love The Life of Pi. Brilliant story.
Yeah, no, Jan Martel can tell a story. And ironically, I think it's the follow-up to Life of Pi. He writes about a writer whose first book does really, really well, and then he battles to get his second story together, and him and his wife travel to go and live and work in a distant land, and he becomes involved with a taxidermist of all people, who turns out to have a pretty sordid past. And this taxidermist hears that this writer is in town, and he asks this writer to help him with his own writing, and that's how he discovers that this guy's got a really dodgy past. But I found it very funny that, he used that technique of, the sort of second novel, the second novel blues, as it were, particularly after a successful first one. Do you have that kind of anxiety that one day you just might run dry?
I don't know. I don't really think about it.
Okay. And your Stephen King favorites, which ones do you like?
Carrie. I really enjoyed Carrie.
Yeah.
And The Stand was pretty epic.
And how do you deal with the sleepless nights that follow a Stephen King novel?
Well, the key to not getting scared out of your mind with Stephen King is just don't read it at night.
Yeah, that's how, I kept myself awake as a teenager. I loved being terrified by Stephen King. Well, once again, congratulations, Luke. We're definitely looking out for your work, and hopefully we'll have you on the program to talk about your writing in more detail once we have our hands on it and I've gotten to go through it. So congratulations and all the best for the future, and keep it up, hey?
Thanks. Yeah, definitely.
Go well. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's
Luke Hasbrook. He's winner of the Golden Baobab Rising Writer Award, best story written by a talented writer 18 years and below. He's in grade 10 and publishers are taking notice. So it's never too soon or too late to start if you feel you've got a story to tell and you'd like to share it with the rest of the world. So that's some inspiration from a younger person.